Hello and welcome to our Culture Magazine here on I24 News. I'm Oded Grober and hopefully we'll have a very entertaining show for you today. We'll host Leigh Lahav, an Israeli animator responsible for some big viral hits on YouTube. Also Benjamin Millipieds' debut as the director of the Paris Opera Ballet. And South African musicians banned from Zimbabwe for making fun of Mugabe. Leigh Lahav is an animator who creates online short films about pop culture and fandom. Her latest short about Game of Thrones received almost 180,000 views in less than a week, and she has been featured in the Time magazine website, The Guardian, and Wired. She was also a finalist for this year's 60-second film competition at the Empire Awards. I'm very happy to have Leigh Lahav right here in the flesh, not your animated self, really you. It's
Here
really
I am.
You. Thank you for coming in, first
Thank you.
of all.
Wow, I'm really surprised about the Game of Thrones things. I just did it like a week ago.
Yeah,
and
180,000
you have your paws
views.
on it right away.
It's the latest, and you have a
here
lot
it
of
is.
works, yeah. Tell us, explain to our viewers what it is you do, because I'm not sure that I was able to do it well enough.
Actually, you described it pretty well. I'm an animator, and I have a YouTube channel where I make short animations about pop culture, about fan culture, and everything that have to do with that.
I see. All right, you know what? Let's take a quick break. Take a look at the clip from the animation you made for Gravity, and come back.
Okay.
Space. Have I ever told you about the time?
Oh my god! 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 How did you?
Doesn't matter. What matters now is that we always stick together. Always.
My movie!
You bitch!
Okay, Sandra, calm down. Remember what Keanu told you on the set of Speed.
Always ask for percentage. Also, don't do miscongeniality too.
Damn it!
Okay, so it's first of all very funny stuff.
Thank you.
Really, making fan art. It has been done in the past, but I think that in the last few years it's been, it's gotten to a whole new level.
Yeah, thanks to the internet.
Yes,
first of
definitely.
all, because I think people have been making fan art forever, ever since
Since fans existed.
Ever since fans existed, and also I call a lot of things fan art. Like lately, Brian Fuller recreated Hannibal in a new Hannibal TV show, and he calls his work fan art because it's not his original work, and it's kind of paying tribute to a new thing. But yeah, thanks to the internet, fan art reached places it hadn't reached before. People who never even knew the term know it today, and so it really. The term is really varies from the way it depends on how you see it. Like you may call my stuff fan art, but other people may just call it parody. It's very complex. But
no, this is global. You're from Israel, but these shows that you.
Parody
or whatever. They air worldwide, and your fans are also, or your followers, whatever we want to call them, are from everywhere around the world.
Yeah, pretty much. My humor, the stuff I do is mainly have to do with American or British television or pop culture, which is pretty much apparent all over the world.
Why do
People
you
know
think it's able to speak so well to everybody?
Everybody knows Sherlock. Everybody know Game of Thrones right now, and it's in English, so it reaches a large audience because of that. Everybody wants to see their favorite.
And what sort of responses do you get?
Warm, not so warm, all kinds of responses.
Not so warm.
Oh, of course. There's also the occasional "this sucks," "I hated this," but what can you do?
It is the internet.
Yeah, it is the internet. Everyone's a critic, and I'm glad for these responses also.
Yeah.
If somebody feels it's very important for him to say this sucks. Fine. Yeah. Speak up.
Maybe you should make a little animation out of it. And
About
post
that?
Yeah. Tell me, is this the sort of thing? I mean, obviously you do it because you enjoy doing it and you like doing it. But is it for you a way to get somewhere and then do the thing that you really want? Do you have something that you do for yourself, or is this really what you want to do?
This is something that I really enjoy, and I would love doing one day to continue paradising, to continue making shorts and skits and stuff like that. Having a show like Robot Chicken that also does stuff like that is something I would love to have. I would also love to make an original series or something like that. So it's something between.
Is there a business model to this kind of making?
For parodies?
Yeah.
Or for YouTube videos?
For your line of.
Right now, this is something between a hobby and sending my reach out there. I'm getting suggestions from workplaces in the U.S., stuff like that. So it's something in between.
Might happen from it. Nice.
I would love that too.
I certainly hope to see you in the future. Last question: have you started working on your next little?
Actually, me and my husband, who sits outside, who also he writes with me. Yeah, he writes with me most of the sketches, and we're just thinking about something new. Don't know yet.
All right,
We're
it'll be a mystery.
it.
We'll check out your YouTube channel and see it when it comes out. Leigh Lahav, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Moving on, Benjamin Millipieds is, of course, Natalie Portman's husband, but he's also the upcoming new director of the Paris Opera Ballet. He's marking his debut season with a new version of Ravel's Daphnis and Chloe. Margot Stellman has the story.
Benjamin Millipieds, the new director of the Opera Ballet of Paris, will start working in his new position in the fall of 2014. The young choreographer and the husband of actress Natalie Portman sets the bar high with his new creation, Daphnis and Chloe, a work inspired by a second-century Greek romance.
C'est le ballet le plus ambitieux parce que c'est la partition.
This ballet is very ambitious because the music is difficult to conquer. Because it's only 1 hour, the music is very beautiful, but sometimes there are parts that have been created for pantomime, and sometimes the rhythms do not necessarily engage with the dancing. It goes backward, forward and backward, so it is very difficult.
Donc c'est très difficile.
Brigitte Lefebvre, the former director of the dance at the Opera of Paris, gave Millipieds the idea for this ballet 2 years ago, long before the choreographer was nominated to replace her as director.
Le potentiel est énorme. C'est une compagnie absolument.
The potential is huge. It's an absolutely fantastic company. There are more talented dancers with great facilities than any company in the world. That's for sure. So for me, it is gold. This is truly an extraordinary opportunity.
Une opportunité extraordinaire.
Millipieds' debut was at the New York City Ballet, where he became a lead dancer and has performed in ballets by Jerome Robbins, George Balanchine, and in 2011 he launched his own dance company in Los Angeles. After the realization of his American dream and a visit to Israel with his wife, Millipieds is now back with his new family in his native country.
It's not very complicated. We'll come and live in Paris. It's a chance of a lifetime for us to live in Paris, because it's been 20 years since I lived in New York, and we are delighted about the experience that awaits us. Besides, I have a lot to discover. I know America now, I know a bit of Europe, but I learn a lot.
Je connais bien l'Amérique maintenant, je connais un petit peu l'Europe, mais je vais apprendre plein de choses.
Daphnis and Chloe will be at the Opera Bastille from May 10th to June 8th.
Lovely. Now, this weekend, 180 million people in 45 countries watched as Austrian drag act Conchita Wurst won the Eurovision Song Contest in Copenhagen. Ronnie Ben-Bassat takes a look at the winner, the controversy, and the music.
The winner is Conchita Wurst.
Austrian music lovers, gay rights advocates and supporters of everything unconventional were delighted to see drag queen Conchita Wurst capture the hearts of millions as she took first place in the Eurovision Song Contest. Her her over-the-top ballad Rise Like a Phoenix scored a whopping 290 points, securing Austria its first victory in 48 years. But the win is also perceived as a triumph to the continent's LGBT supporters. And according to Wurst, it is dedicated to all the people who believe in the future of peace, love and tolerance.
My dream came true, but for our society, it just showed me that there are people out there who wants to go in the future. A stranger getting nearer.
Dubbed Austria's bearded lady for her distinctive facial hair, the glamorous diva persona, portrayed by 25-year-old singer Tom Neuwirth, has been challenging gender boundaries since she was first created in 2011. She is not the first drag act to enter or win the flamboyant music contest, which has been long embraced by gay communities in many European countries. In 1998, Israeli transgender pop star Dana International took first place in Birmingham, and in 2007, Ukrainian drag performer Verka Serduchka came in second in Helsinki. But Austria's win did not go without sparking some controversy in Russia, usually a Eurovision frontrunner, which this year came in seventh. The country's deputy prime minister wrote on his Twitter page that the result showed supporters of European integration their European future, a bearded girl. Another politician, Vladimir Zhirinovsky, also voiced his outrage, saying the Soviet army may have made a mistake in freeing Austria 50 years ago.
This does not stop at a border of a country. You have to fight and stand up for your rights, and that's what I did yesterday.
Back in Denmark, Conchita and her supporters did not let anything spoil their celebrations, and made clear, even to Russian President Vladimir Putin, that gays are unstoppable and are here to stay.
Soon we'll hear about a South African band that's been banned from Zimbabwe, but first a few cultural highlights from around the world.
The Photographers Gallery in London is exhibiting the work of Richard Moss. Infra presents a radical rethinking, visually and politically charged depiction of the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Shot using military infrared surveillance film, the display of the visual, elegant images seeks to raise awareness to the tragedy in Congo, and it is part of the celebrated annual Photography Prize of 2014, and the exhibition will be on view until June the 22nd. The Museum of Modern Art hosts a show that brings a new perspective of the works of Gauguin. Metamorphosis rethinks Gauguin's work by focusing on his unique drawings and sketches. The show exposes a darker, more bizarre, much more challenging side of Gauguin than what we know from his most lush Tahitian colorful paintings. The exhibit will end on June the 8th. Music, dance, devotion, freedom, and inspiration will take place for the third time at the ashram in the desert in Israel. On a full moon weekend, this unique spiritual event offers concerts and different workshops with top musicians and instructors of song, dance, movement, motion, knowledge, wisdom, and learning of the many levels and layers of the Sufi way. The festival will take place from the 15th to the 17th of May.
And now our world music expert, Daniel Campos, is in the studio. Daniel, what do you got for us today?
Hello, Ded. Well, last week we spoke a little bit about censorship on the case of Russia, musicians in Russia. Today I bring the same topic, but focusing actually on the continent of Africa.
Climate.
Yeah. So again, here, I mean, in the developed world, we can call it, if in Europe, we're usually used to a different kind of censorship than the one we're picturing in Africa. The band of Freshly Grounds was recently deported from the airport in Harare, Zimbabwe. They released a song calling Mugabe a chicken to change. Mugabe has been in power for 30 years, over 30 years actually, and he doesn't want to change. So this is like a parody, and they did a collaboration with puppets, Zan News. It's a very interesting show, like the South African Daily Show with puppets, and it was very controversial, and like I said, they're now paying the price. They used to be able to perform in South Africa. Ever since they released this song, that's it. That was it for them.
Apparently not a very developed sense of humor.
And that's a type of censorship, you know. They told them at the excuses that they didn't have permits in the airport. The other type
There's always a reason.
Always a reason. The other type of censorship we face is another one in which we see a lot in West Africa today, which has to do with Islamic extremism.
Yeah.
Scaring musicians away, and that's the case of the film Return to Timbuktu, which is right now in production. They just wrapped up the funds on the Indiegogo campaign, and the idea is to bring the musicians back to Timbuktu, where this great music festival called the Festival in the Desert used to take place every year, and hasn't been able to take place because of the fear of Islamic extremism.
And now they've taken them back and they're filming.
That's the idea.
That must be a pretty emotional film for them.
Emotional and dangerous. Let's not forget that not far away from Timbuktu, two RFI, Radio France International journalists, were killed by Islamic extremists not long ago. So
not easy sights, but very interesting. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Odette.
Thank you for joining us as well. I hope you enjoyed watching our show. Be sure, join us again tomorrow for a whole new edition of Culture. We'll be right here. Bye-bye.